Hello and welcome to this super episode of the Music City Mindset. You can find everything Music City Mindset conveniently located under the Nashville Fit Network. One of the things that makes this episode today so super is that you don't have to sit here and just listen to me. My co-host for this whole thing, he's a husband, he's a father, Glencliff great, TSU icon, coach and trainer, at Training Corner on IG, Mr. Deon Giddens.
Man, this dude, every week. Appreciate the intro, man.
Yeah, dude.
How you feeling?
I'm good. Super Bowl.
You want to go there right now? Let's go.
Let's jump ahead.
Okay.
For you,
okay.
I want to ask the non-football stuff. We'll start there.
Yeah. All right.
Halftime show.
Kendrick.
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think Kendrick did what he did, right? So, for people who was expecting more the Usher side of stuff or more that's not Kendrick. So I think he just did what he did. I do think he could have put out a little more hits from the past, right, to kind of keep everybody involved. But he pumped the album.
Yeah,
you know
he pumped the album.
He pumped the album. And he did what he
Apple
did.
Music running it. They obviously want to push the new album.
And you don't know the agenda behind what's going on too. So
you got to know that.
I'm
a hip hop head, so I mean I love feeding into the beef and the drama of rap.
Yeah.
My 2 cents worth as someone who hails from the mountains of Caucasus, if I'm allowed to have opinions on hip hop.
White people in hip hop too.
Yeah, they're there. Eminem. But no, I think that he did something. I think as a halftime show, it was meh. Like if you're comparing it to like
that's what
Prince, Michael Jackson.
It wasn't that. You know
right,
what I mean?
Yeah. It wasn't that. But he did something that I don't think we've ever seen ever. And that was he actually ended a beef without someone dying.
That's true.
Without it being like, okay, we're just not going to do that anymore. Like he ended it.
Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Yeah. And I like both artists, right? But it's, I don't know.
I don't know how you come back from that.
I don't know what else can be done. I mean, Drake.
I saw the hoodie and all, but I mean, like.
I mean, how many times can you come out with, that hoodie on, right? But I don't know, man. I don't think he's over for Drake per se.
Yeah.
But Kendrick definitely he got the first 8 rounds of this thing, so he got to do something else, man. You know what I mean?
At least as of now, no one died or nothing like that.
Well, which is cool. Like, they kept it on the mic
on the biggest stage ever, like 100-something, 20 million people watching or something, and he ended a beef. Like
then he brought out
game over.
He brought out his exes out. You know what I mean?
Probably one of the pettiest things I've seen in music.
So he thought it out. It was strategically played. You know what I mean? So
the one that got me was like the one where it's like the NFL was taking in racism out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
But also the NFL asking the person who wrote the meanest song ever to come perform.
They don't think. It's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all money.
I mean? It's a money grab. You know what I'm saying?
Switching, kind of to the game a little bit, which obviously we'll probably talk a lot of football today, which I'm not mad about.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
First, quick little initial takeaway from the game as a whole. What stuck out to you out of all the storylines of how the game could have gone?
I felt like the coaching from the Eagles standpoint was like very elite. The rookie showed up, right? The two corners, the 2 DB guys. They started 2 DBs as rookies in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And one made a huge play with Mahomes with the pick 6, right?
Yeah.
So that's a rookie, right? It doesn't happen all the time.
An Iowa guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A real guy.
Yeah.
A real Iowa guy.
Yeah. He's a white dude.
So he's white. Yeah, he's white. You don't know. He's a real white guy.
Oh, I was cheering.
I bet.
It was his birthday too.
It was a birthday, so that was dope too. But
I like that. I like that takeaway because I mean it seems like week 5, week 6. I mean they're calling for Sirianni's job.
Yeah.
He's yelling at fans, acting out.
Yeah.
Treating him like he's just a what do they say on Pat McAfee, big dumb dipshit.
Yeah.
Can't coach. And then to come out there and end the season the way it is.
But then on the flip side, Mahomes looked rattled to me. I don't know. It was something about it with that first quarter. I felt like that he didn't seem too settled. It felt like you could tell they limped to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
right.
That's what we were saying the whole time. Like this Chiefs isn't the normal Chiefs.
Nah. And we talked to Dexter about that because he's a
We
let him get.
Well, he was there, I think.
His Chiefs guy. You know what I mean?
So before we go any further about it, it would kind of be a disservice to not bring someone who was there and knows football a little bit better than me into this conversation. So joining us now, a Largo football legend, all SEC running back returner for Ole Miss, where his efforts there earned him the honors of a Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame and the Ole Miss Hall of Fame. He was drafted 36th overall to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he earned his way to a Pro Bowl. His first pro touchdown was a 94-yard punt return to the house, which I believe, looking back, set the tone of how his legacy will be remembered forever. He came to Nashville to play for your Tennessee Titans, where he now still resides, pouring his knowledge of football into the young minds through his youth sports training, McCluster Fit. Everyone welcome Dexter McCluster.
Yes, sir, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by,
That was
dude.
a good intro.
Thank you.
Dude, he's the best intro guy ever.
I'm telling you, man. Come on, I got goosebumps. Where the helmet at? We got to receive in the D. What we doing?
We go get some one-on-ones in the yard.
Right.
No, right here. We go right here.
In the phone booth. Were you down in New Orleans for the game?
Yeah, I was down in New Orleans, man. Had a good time. Was with the Chiefs fans again. Kind of made me feel alive again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just being in that atmosphere again of, that real deal football energy. So yeah, had a good time up until Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll ask you the same question.
Mm-hmm.
What was your big takeaway, just as the game as a whole? There's a bunch of storylines all over the place, both sides of the coin there. But what was your big takeaway from watching the game?
Yeah, I think the Eagles came in, like Deon said earlier, they came in with a different type of focus. Like you said, they started 2 rookie cornerbacks. That says a lot about those guys, and that gives them the confidence that, what, coach believes that I can go out here and do that, so I'm going to lock in and do it. Our front, man, I think, for the most part, man, their defensive line, Eagles, they were
dominant.
They were dominant.
The line was dominant.
You know what I'm saying? So
they weren't blitzing much.
No.
They didn't blitz at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blitz.
It kind of looked like it. That
it
they
looked
were,
like
but
it.
they didn't, right?
Yeah.
So it was just overall, it hurt my heart a little bit, but they definitely deserved it as well as if the Chiefs would have won as well.
This Chiefs isn't a normal Chiefs team that we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
a lot of injuries though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of injuries.
Weather storms.
However you feel about the refs' agenda and all of that. That first call against AJ Brown was
suspect.
That was suspect.
Yeah,
And there's definitely some people that got up off my couch like, I might as well just go home. Like, this is it. I feel like they gave the Eagles a makeup call the next drive, and then the refs stayed out of it.
They let them play. I feel
they
like.
let them play after that. They let them play after that.
I think for the most part, they hear the noise too, just like the players. They hear all that, so they're like, okay, I don't want to be the one to jack this thing up, so let's kind of let them play and let them do what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, until we have to intervene. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. You know what I mean?
But, Mahomes didn't look like – he just didn't have that magic.
Yeah.
That's not how I saw the game going. I did not do really good in the gambling world. I had a little chunk on a Saquon anytime touchdown. He
didn't get it.
No, he didn't get one.
He didn't
get one. But that presence of him just being there.
Yes.
Spags stuck to the concept of we're not letting Saquon win.
Yeah.
And they stayed in the box even when they were getting beat down deep. They didn't come out of that. They kept with the exotics. They kept doing what they were doing the whole game. Yeah. At some point, you thought they would back up, stop the pass, and then Saquon was going to put that nail in the coffin, but he never did.
But even in that, the Eagles still was feeding him the ball.
Yeah, kept going to him.
But breaking those big ones. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it shows you that though. Right there, you're saying
it's a possibility.
Yeah. And then you still have to keep that in your eye. They still feeding the ball. I still got to watch it. I still got to play it.
Yep.
And AJ Brown been waiting on the game like this.
Mm-hmm.
All year they've been setting this up. I feel like it was perfect from the Eagles standpoint. I feel like you got the offensive MVP, but you forget about the Heisman Trophy winner on one side.
Yeah.
AJ Brown on the other side, and they went to work.
And a lot of people don't know that Nick Sirianni was my wide receiver coach in Kansas City for a year.
Didn't know that.
We actually stayed in the same. My rookie year, we stayed in the same. The Fountain View in Kansas City, right on the plaza. Yeah. So when I was going to work, he was going to work, but I think he was like an assistant or something.
Okay.
But just to see his growth from Nick,
so he started there.
Yeah. What's up, Nick, in the parking garage to Man, what's
The
up,
head
Nick?
coach.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
head.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Well, and then
crazy.
Andy
it's
was
pretty
at
cool.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
League's
it's a bunch
crazy.
of stories.
Yeah,
in that
they're-
thing.
100%.
Yeah.
It'll go down in history.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
So we'll get back more into that because there's some storylines that I would love your perspective of. But let's go back a little bit. Obviously, as a SEC fan, Alabama fan myself, Roll Tide. I did see a lot of you. I had to say it. I didn't wear the hoodie though. I thought about it. But I did watch you play a little bit.
Yep.
What was your college life like pre? Barely, but like pre NIL. And all, yeah. Yeah, how things might have been a little bit different.
A little different, yeah.
What was college like for you?
College was good. Just getting into college. I always had the knock of being too small. He wouldn't be able to make it in the SEC unless he did X, Y, Z, right?
Yeah.
But again, I knew the player that I was. I knew my mentality, my mindset, and I knew what I was bringing to the table. It was just disappointing me getting the opportunity to. Ole Miss gave me that opportunity, and when I got there, my first game there, I played running back all my life. Coach Ed Ogeron, with that raspy voice. Hey, Dex, we got our running back, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, but we got a starting slot position open for you, but you got to work for it, right? So I took that to heart because I'm from Florida, man. You know what I'm saying? We like to get it down. Right? I didn't want to go up there and just red shirt or whatever. I wanted to go up there and get that starting spot, even though I haven't played receiver a day in my life, right? So it worked out. First game of the season against Memphis, I scored in my first ever game with the McCluster Fluster. I had big Michael Orr out there, leading the way, blindside, baby.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, my college experience, it was good. Had some ups and downs, but I was able to do some.
So you
amazing
played college
things.
and pro with him, actually, right?
Yeah, college and pro. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. Here in Tennessee,
He's over at Lipscomb too now.
Oh, for real?
His son, he's here.
Yeah, man. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy.
Tennessee
Small
got
world,
us, baby.
dog.
Yeah.
But my overall college experience, man, a lot of great things happened, and more so now after the game, it's appreciated a little more. And sometimes I look back and be like, damn, I did
You
that.
did that. You
You
did
did
that.
that.
Yeah.
What you mean?
You did that.
And if I have to, let's do that.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
but just that mindset. So overall, man, it was definitely a blessing, man.
Do you think it was I don't know that much about, behind closed doors, how you live.
Right.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing you didn't get that NIL money?
Okay. I think the way I was built, I think it was a good thing because I stayed hungry. You know what I mean? But I went out there. I'm practicing 1,000%. I'm playing 100%. I'm doing everything. I kept that chip on my shoulder, and I think back in the days we had a couple little handshakes or whatever.
Yeah.
And got a $200. All right, cool. Put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Right. But I think now I would have broke the bank.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Bro.
I probably would have been working at the bank that I'm breaking. You know what I mean? But no, but again, I think I'm happy for those guys because at the end of the day, we're out there, working hard. We're out there busting everybody else, kind of benefiting off of, what we got to bring. So happy for those guys. Get that money, man. Get it.
They getting it, man.
And surround yourself around people that'll help you keep it.
That's
There
the key.
you go. Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
go fast.
That's the harder part.
Yes.
Oh, they don't understand that part. It go
100%.
fast, man.
Yeah.
So you're talking about being hungry. Well, tell me a little bit about Largo. I
Largo,
definitely have,
baby. We got chickens running around that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not the first Florida boy I've been around.
Yeah,
But,
yes, sir.
but what was Largo like? What was your upbringing like?
Yeah.
And did that have anything to do with why you were so hungry?
Yeah.
Later on in life.
Yeah, of course. Growing up, Largo, Florida is a small town right outside of Tampa. So when people ask, I'll say Largo, and I got tired of saying no, not Key Largo, so I say Tampa now, right?
Okay.
But small city outside of Clearwater in Tampa. Very close-knit community, but I think everywhere in Florida we're just raised to, just go-getter mentality. My mom and father is still together now. I saw my dad wake up in the morning and cook breakfast. He was the cooker of the family. Cook breakfast and then out the door by 5, handling his business. As a man. So I'm seeing that, right, and I'm seeing how they're showing up and making a way for me to go to this baseball game or go to this football practice. So. And playing, I don't know what y'all call it. I've heard a lot of different where we call it kill the carrier back in the days. When you get a group of friends, you got one football, you throw it up, you catch, you get what you get.
Oh yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah,
There was another name.
Yeah,
there was another name we called it.
Everybody got a different, but I think more so now, we didn't have the social media stuff. We didn't have all that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we were outside. We chasing the chickens. Like I said, we
Yeah.
have chickens in the log room still to this day, unless the people ate them all.
Yeah.
You know, every now and then you get a little hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Mike, you want.
You know, but yeah, man, just small city, man, but it's a lot of talent in there. And as you know, you can either go left or you can go right. You know, so I thank God that I had, you know, the foundation of my mom, my dad, you know, and the people I had around me to continue to push me when, you know, the door was kind of trying to be closed on me.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out because you kept naming places. I think is Lakeland close?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think that's
we
where
didn't play each other, but Lake Jerry Dots,
Dominique Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marty.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my dog.
Yeah. I played.
That's
with
why
him.
we be dancing all the time.
Yeah,
man.
you
boy-
getting that
them boys
jig.
dancing,
Yeah.
Don't get me started now.
That boy be jugging now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know what I'm
Them boys
saying?
get to it.
Hey, next time I see you, I need that challenge, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I be jugging too now. Nah, that's my dog. Good, great guy, man. Great character.
So, crushed it in college.
Yeah, man.
Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Was there anything in regards to being hungry? Was there anything, an example you had, mentor you had, that allowed you to play a little bit better when the lights got a little bit brighter?
Well, outside of my father, I looked at Barry Sanders, man. I used to watch every one of his highlights before every single game and picture myself in that. But yeah, I guess go back to that question again. My bad, had so much on my mind. Repeat that.
Man,
No,
but Barry Sanders is a guy though, right?
Yeah.
Feel me?
Like,
Yeah.
Like, so for me, I mean, I tried to get the shoes. I just didn't wear the
All
number
that.
20, right? But
Yeah.
Barry Sanders to me,
Yeah.
you know, they can call me old school, whatever. But he's one of, like, you got to put him above a lot of these other running backs.
Yeah.
Like all time,
Yeah,
at least.
man.
You
Well,
know
for
what I'm
me, Barry, Deon, some of them coming up, it was different when a player made the game look fun in between the whistles. It was one thing
Yes.
to
Yeah.
see.
You gotta hold your breath,
You know,
right?
it was like X's and O's, and we're playing, and like here's the play,
Yeah.
and if you just do your job, it kind of looks like a video game, right? Like you go here, plays over, and then people started standing out when we started getting better cameras, more cameras
Yes.
on the game.
Yeah,
You know,
more
people
angles.
pop their helmets off, and after the whistle, you got to
Right.
know some about that. But it was the people that made in between the whistles look fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
The the
Yeah,
the
the
prime,
prime,
yeah,
yeah.
Yes,
the
sir.
way
Yeah.
the way Barry would move around.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So you made like 10 people miss for 10 yards,
Yeah.
but it looks
Yeah,
great.
but it's-
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
so
but
every time.
So it was so easy to gravitate towards
Yes.
wanting to watch that. Of course,
Yeah.
coming up here, we didn't have the Titans when I was little,
Okay.
so it's like.
Yeah, it was.
I had
No,
to
we
watch
didn't-
what
we didn't
was
have a
on
team.
Sports Center,
Yeah.
what was on,
Right.
which was
Right.
the highlight. So seeing the people that made the game look fun,
Yes.
with the helmet on, in between the whistles, it's hard not to have some influence by that of how they navigated the game and things like that.
I definitely I think that's the type of player I was, and the type of person I still am. To where it's like, no matter what, I'm gonna give you 100%, and if I got to give you 105 just to make this dude miss, I'm gonna do it. But just that action pack, that light, that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you were dangerous, dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
he's a high energy guy. That's
Ball-
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure.
If the ball was in your hand, it was like
Come
at
on, man.
any
You
given
don't know
moment.
what can happen.
Yeah.
At
Anytime
any
he
given
gone.
moment, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, vision.
Yeah,
Your vision has to be, and I don't mean just like 2020 or what, but like, it's one thing to like a guy's coming up on you and one-on-one you make someone miss.
Yeah.
But you've got to think about, if I make him miss, where does that put me for the like to be a returner? I did a lot of special teams.
Yes.
So like, not returning, but but like understanding that you have to like miss the one in front of you to put yourself in the best position to make the one behind him miss.
Yeah.
So there's got to be layers to
Yeah.
your vision. I mean, did that come from running around with chickens or like?
it might have. I remember one time I stole one of them chicken eggs as a joke, and that I never knew the chickens could really fly for that long. But
they came and got you.
Man, I dropped it. I'm sorry, Lord. To this day, I ain't mean to drop the egg. I was a little kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, like vision, man. I just think just trusting your instincts.
Yeah.
And it goes from just practice. You practice how you play. You hear it all the time. Coaches say it, but I believe that. I do it to this day, to where, how did you make this guy miss? How did you spin on this play? Because I did it all week in practice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so of just, practicing hard, working hard at it, but just reacting to what you see. And I'm always looking, that guy that's finna come tackle me, I'm looking past him already, right? Because I know he dead fish in the water. I'm going to leave him right where he stands. But now I got to set him up to get to that next guy, like you said. But just reacting and trusting what you've been working on, throughout the week or, throughout your life, man. Just reacting. That's life.
Yeah.
Trusting.
Yeah.
Instinct.
But that's life, and that's how you learned how to navigate it because of what you learned and were able to practice in sports.
Yes, 100%.
Right?
100%.
I feel like it's hard, and that's one of those things whether you're going to be a Pro Bowl athlete or not, like to get people into sports. Yeah. Because I feel like there's lessons like that that you can only learn from sports.
Yeah.
That like if you would have never had that, how do you navigate some of the decisions you've had to make in your life and navigate business relationships that you would have never gotten if you don't have that perspective of putting yourself into practice instincts.
Right.
Where else other in sports do you get to practice trusting your own instincts?
And specifically football, though, for me.
Right.
Because I say this because I relate this to a lot of the kids. As you can see, you coaching kids too, and training. Same for you in the strongman gym training. Like, so for me, sports, it's so many different layers to it, right? Especially the mental aspect and that mental side. Also, just the accountability, right? Trusting yourself, not letting your teammates down. But especially in football, though, right? Because you have 11 people on the field. So it's the only sport that I know 10 people can do everything right. But one person can mess up a play and lose a game for you. One person. You did everything right how you was coached, but one person can blow it. So it gives you that accountability for the team. So a lot of these people in the corporate world, like, they love hiring, like, ex-athletes and people who have an athletic background because they have the team concept, right? They understand that, hey, I had to pull my part my way. So that's why I just try to teach the kids too. No, everybody's not going to go to play college and NFL, right? It is what it is. But take the lessons, take the hardships, take just the flow of the game, the ups and downs, and you can still come out and win. But just know you can do everything right and still things don't go your way sometimes, right?
That resiliency.
So how do I become resilient in those areas and just the ups and downs of this life? So for me, that's why I love the game of football. No matter how long you play, no matter if it's your first year or you like Dex and go to the Pro Bowl, it doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
Those life lessons, they kind of just is so valuable. You know what I mean? Especially at an early age with the kids, though.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. That was well said, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think about the NIL stuff now, right?
Yeah.
We just think about the money, kids getting to the money, and that's why I try to calm my kids down. Like, look, man, just let's just do what we do for now.
Yeah.
Don't be in a rush to be grown. I promise you. You don't want
I'm telling you.
grown
Be
problems
ready for
come
your-
with being grown. Yeah, just chill, do your thing, man. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was deep right there, dude. I appreciate that. So kind of like the vision you have is very instinctual, but like what do you kind of like, because I've talked to a bunch of returners playing special teams like I have, do you kind of just like black out and go into this like zone? Are you actually like actively, like if I asked you what you were thinking on that first touchdown in the NFL, do you even know what you were thinking?
I was in the zone. Well, I can tell you what I was
Yo,
thinking.
I got a question.
Go
though.
ahead. Yeah.
Is this the one that you post? Like, because I trained him for a while. Like, like later on, and we'll get to that too. But was it the Giants you was playing? Who was the first touchdown against?
It was against the Chargers, San Diego.
Chargers.
But the one that I do,
you hit the move.
One. But the one
Is
that
the
always
first
come
one?
when I spin with the Giants.
Yes.
That was that was second or third one.
I thought, okay, I was like, if that was the first
but
one,
that was the
killer.
one that, like you were saying, like the vision, but do you get in the zone? Like the one you're talking about against the Giants. Ball in the air. My guys, I told them, the special teams unit, I am not fair catching.
No matter what.
No matter what. And then once they realized this dude is not fair catching, he's dead serious. Yeah. They was like, okay, and then we started going against him. They was like, okay, well, hey, if I just do this,
he good.
Oh, we good. You know what I'm saying? So on that play, the ball went up, made one guy miss, and I spent. I didn't know I did it when I was out there, but I spent, made a guy miss, made three guys fall. Deon in that thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've seen that.
But then when I got in the locker room, they were like, Dexter, like, what made you hit that spin? And I was like, what spin? You know what I mean?
To your point,
yeah,
though,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
autopilot for him.
I was in the zone, and you can and when you go back and watch it, you can you can tell like, oh, he just
reacted.
reacted.
But there's
to
almost
what's
something
going
that
on,
like
you know what I'm saying?
is like that
When you're in
doesn't,
that zone, it's the best thing to be in, bro.
Yeah,
Because
man,
you untouchable.
because when you think about autopilot, you think about like, but like
Shit,
to
right.
think about the fact that you went on autopilot
Yeah.
and like we're dodging people. Did you hear see the clip on social media of Jameis Winston explaining to Burt Kreischer what it's like to field a punt?
No, I didn't. I gotta go look at it.
But James,
He said-
James
it's like-
carried it anyway, though.
He
Yeah, I
said,
know.
he said it's like trying to look up at the moon and you've got 11 ostriches running at you and you got a
What?
piece of corn on your chin.
Oh yeah.
Nah, he
It makes
different.
sense, but it's funny as hell. Like,
Yeah.
And Bert's like, no, I can't imagine what that
No,
would be
right.
like.
Who can? Nobody.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy to think that your autopilot, that zone,
yeah.
you can literally contort your body and do things that like you don't even realize you're doing it or why you're doing it. It's not like playing a video game where like I'm gonna press the circle.
X, Y, yeah.
Like you just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's so.
Yeah, it's
as someone
different.
who even played ball, even at a lower professional level, that's still so hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah. And even, you don't hit a crowd till you get in the end zone.
yeah.
And that's when you like, shit, I'm here now. Now we stick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey,
but
man,
that punt returns are dangerous.
Yeah.
I
But
told my dudes, man.
I never.
listen,
So in college, I never returned punts at all.
I didn't know that.
You
Right?
didn't do that until
what about kickoff return? You did kickoff return?
Yeah, but
Punt is very different though.
Yeah, it is. I love punt return. That
Yeah.
kick return,
See, I
right.
like kickoff return.
Yeah,
it's kind of safe.
but I
you
did a
know.
little bit in college.
Okay.
Got an injury in it, so I didn't do
Yeah.
much of it after that. But punt return, I did. And they had Javier Arenas. We got drafted
Yeah.
to Kansas City at around the same time, so he was the guy, right? But I was the guy that I can do it because I'm an athlete, right?
Yeah.
So I'm backing him up with at practice. Begin the game, Monday Night Football against the Chargers. We couldn't get anything going on special teams, and I seen Todd Haley lean over to Coach Toe. He's still there, our special teams coach. He was like, I want to see McCluster return one. I didn't hear him, but I read his lips.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, here you go.
all right, come on, Dad. So now I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Because it's raining a little bit, drizzling. So I'm like, all right, just catch the ball. Then I was like, and Dad told you every time it's wet, just put your hands in the inside of your thighs. That's the driest part. So I'm talking myself through it.
So you just
boom.
replaying everything that you just
I'm
know.
so damn
like,
nervous, yeah. So I get out there. And to the world, I'm looking confident, right?
Yeah.
So boom. So I'm sitting back there. I'm like, Dex, just catch the ball. Just catch it. I don't care if you get a yard. Just catch the ball. Catch it. Boom, it's up in the air. I kid you not. The drops of rain hit me in my eyes. I'm not blinking. I'm like, I'm finna catch this mug. So boom, I caught it, and I caught it low. But when I realized I had room, everything else just kicked in. Made one
Poured
mission.
your emotion.
Remember the running back, big ass running back, Tolbert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just hit him with a one step, and he went flying,
Yeah.
going with the wind.
Yeah.
yeah. And then after that, man, I had a
Free lane.
convoy, man, to
Yeah.
it. And again, that moment, I'm running, but it feels like the end zone running away from me. So I'm digging, like,
Yeah.
I ain't here yet. But I got there, man. Then the crowd went
Yeah.
wild, and the first thing I thought in my head is, I can't wait to get in the locker room so I can call my mom and dad and my family back home.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, we did it, huh?
That's killer though,
so
man.
that's the day I became a punt returner, man. Right then and there, and they got me to the Pro Bowl.
I would have
That's
never guessed that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so many stories in that one. It's so many layers in that one thing, though.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're still sitting behind somebody, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm being patient. I'm waiting my
Yeah.
turn. But then,
Well, actually, I wasn't even waiting. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just.
that's what I'm saying. You
but
just doing
in general,
you.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just doing you,
Yeah.
right? You showing up every day like
Yeah,
you're supposed
there you
to,
go.
day in and day out.
Yep, yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Like just to know at any time this should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you get the nod, it's like, all right, because we talk about the mindset. You know what I mean? Like, so your mindset just had to go back to what you know. And I tell everybody, like, once you in something, you revert back to what
That's a
you
fact.
know
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So you have to instill those thoughts in your head already before we even get to this big stage, right? So hey, hats out to you, man. That's
I was
a hell of a thing,
talking to
bro.
myself, D.
You got to.
I'm like, come on, you got it. Come on, just catch it. That's it. Just catch it.
Because
You
those
hear
who
me,
don't
Dex?
know,
Just catch it.
to me, I gave up. I did punt return to keep my hand-eye coordination up, right? But
Yeah.
And I would feel some in practice too when I was in the league too. But I was a kickoff guy, which I love that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that punt return is dangerous,
Yes,
dude.
it is.
Like it's tough. But people like him, the athletes, once they get it, it's a show. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun to watch,
For real.
man.
Do you think you would enjoy the new kickoff?
No,
What you think about that?
I don't like it.
I know. I
do
mean,
not like it.
yeah.
Now, did y'all run that drill?
Yeah, in practice.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But
yeah.
most people
it's
don't even know that came from a drill.
Yeah, but my thing is with that being a returner. So or take away the returning aspect of it, right? Think about the guys that make the special teams team. Like you might have a guy that's on the line, can make the team, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what makes him special is maybe he's not the fastest, but he always where he needs to be, or he gets down there fast and do this, or he can make this guy miss. And but now it's minimizing what they can do. So now it's just like
I'm another guy.
Yeah.
Like what I can do is taken away.
What made me special? What got me?
Man,
to where I was. So that's the only deal with that. And I don't know. It just rubs
It's
me
weird,
the wrong
man.
way. I think they're gonna have to change it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Because I think, of course, for safety, right? But
yeah, I get that. But is it for that? Like,
but they wanted action. Like it's not giving action.
Yeah,
It's
I've heard the first change that they're going to do is if it's a touchback, it's going to come out to the 35 now.
Yeah, but that's my point.
But
though,
like,
right?
I mean, that's a small change. But
yeah,
they're trying to keep the ball in play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I don't know. If that's the case, move where you start the kickoff from.
Yeah, that'll
move that
work
back.
too. Move it back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we can still play ball.
We got action, Jackson.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like the kickers are stronger.
Yeah.
Everybody's working out more, so the balls travel farther.
Yeah.
Just move them back.
Yeah.
Move them back 10 to see how it go.
Let me call Roger.
Yeah, call Roger. Call Roger Cattell, man. I know you got him on speed, man. Tell him that, and then we're going to trademark that.
Yeah,
we're
man,
going
come
to take
on, man.
that. Let's get some money, man.
Yeah.
Man. All right, well, let's take a quick little break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we're going to get into some more about Dexter McCluster when we get back.
Here in Nashville for the 7th Country Music Marathon and Half Marathon. I think it says a lot about the city of Nashville, what it has to offer.
And we are back. We've got Dexter McCluster here on set, diving into just life and football. So we kind of talked a little bit about, like, you know, why you play the way you play.
Right.
When you go back, let's finish up anything college and keep moving forward with what you're doing now. Is there, when you go back and like really reflect on college and those moments that played a big point in like how you adapt to things in the game, changing positions, doing things that you would normally do? Is there a game in college? And I say college because I do feel like, especially before NIL, there's so much that amateurism, the passion for the love of the program, all of that that was really deep when it wasn't about the money, right?
Yeah.
Is there a game or rivalry that goes back that puts you through something that you still find yourself kind of leaning back on, as far as like decisions, how you play the game, what you had to endure?
Yeah. I would say, you know, my whole mindset, you know, then and now is just having the opportunity for somebody to believe in me, right? And it goes back to Ed Orgeron in 2006 when they believed in the little guy that everybody counted out, right? Got to Ole Miss. What he saw, it wasn't. I mean, it was. I was young. We were young. The team that he brought in, so we weren't winning. We had to adjust to things, right? But fast forward to 2009. He was coaching at University of Tennessee with the Vols.
Yep.
Lane Kiffin was there. His father, Monty Kiffin, was all there, right? So that game when Ole Miss was going to play, you know, the Vols, I was like, hey, Ed Orgeron recruited me. This is my opportunity to show him that everything that he saw in me.
Yeah. You can come to light.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Put it all together.
Right. So that game, I've never been at that point. I wasn't a vocal leader. I was more. I'm gonna show up early. I'm gonna leave late. I'm gonna work hard and practice every day. So I just led by that example, right?
And it's like sophomore year. What is this? Junior?
This is a senior year.
Senior. Okay.
Yeah,
senior
senior
year.
So I said, Coach, at this point we had just came from Arkansas, Houston Nut, and he was like, I said, Coach, can I talk to the team before the game? just randomly. I guess I was feeling myself, or just
Yeah.
I felt some type of I wanted to go out here and prove something. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah. So I talked to the team, and I told them that day, I said, I'm gonna run so hard that y'all gonna have to carry me off the field. And when I said that, I meant that I was gonna just work as hard as I could. But literally that game, man, I think I scored 4 touchdowns, 280 something yards rushing, 300 and something all purpose, and I have a picture of me running down the sideline. You see Ed Ogeron just yelling, Monica, but it was like a moment to where I was like, dang, I hope I made him proud.
Yeah.
But he called my dad to the locker room after that game and was like, hey, tell him that you know I'm proud of him. I'm just a little upset it had to happen this game, but just saying that. So it was a cool moment.
That's a class
for me.
act, though,
so
man.
it's
That's cool.
somebody that believed in me, that saw something in me. Now he was able to see it, and I was able to, like, almost in a sense thank him in that moment to where, hey, y'all gave me the shot. You gave me the shot.
There seems to be a common trend in people that I get to talk to about switching that mindset from proving people wrong to proving people right.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that I think that was a big lesson in what you did. Instead of trying to prove the doubters wrong, because a lot of times we talk like that, the haters, the doubters, like it's like a generic.
They're gonna forever be.
And it's a generic group,
right?
But when you focus in on the specific people, the coaches, you know, that believed in you, and prove the specific people right, some magic can happen.
Because sometimes it only takes one person to think that I see something in him. Right. It could be 100 people. Man, you can't do this. You know what I mean? Because Dex ain't the biggest guy.
No.
He's not the biggest guy. But when he does what he does, you can't tell he ain't 250.
So on
220. I'm just saying, though.
On that same note of like seeing something in you, I think that's a good segue to talk about your draft process.
Yeah.
What was your draft experience like? Did you go higher or lower than you projected? 36. That's
pretty darn good, man.
Yeah, that's pretty doggone good. But with 32
round.
teams, that means like early second.
Yes.
So usually people that had like first couple picks, so that's probably like not a good team at the time typically, unless someone traded around. But what was that experience like for you?
Yeah.
Waiting, when did you get the phone call? How'd that go?
Yeah, so myself and the belief I have in myself, I was like, you know what? Somebody might just take a shot at me, right? So I'm at home in Largo, Florida, at my parents' house, right? The second day, I already had camera crews lined up. Because, again, I was like, man, I know they're saying 6th round and this and that.
They graded you at 6th round?
6th round?
Yeah,
Bro, they had it.
Yeah.
No way.
I promise you, man.
Are you serious?
They were big on that small stuff, man.
They were back then, though.
Yeah, I'm like, are y'all not
seeing
seeing this thing, right? Like,
Are we watching the same tape?
Yeah, you know what I mean? But
I wouldn't have thought that.
You went to Combine?
Yeah,
everything,
all of that,
bro.
man. You feel me? So I was like, damn, like, you know. But anyways, so first round didn't get picked. Okay, all good. You know what I mean? So we still hung out with the family. So the next day, my agent said, hey, do you want to, keep the camera crews for tomorrow? We got the venue rented out. Do you want to do it? You want to just kind of cancel and just wait? I said, let's do it. I didn't know if I was nervous, but I was like, you know what? My family's here. I got people in from Orlando, out of town. Yeah. If anything, we could turn it into a party after.
There you
right?
go.
There we go.
So we
Good
get
mindset.
there. I'm drinking my little Fiji water. Hold on now, but it's Fiji. It's not this. It's not Defiance now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Defiance Fuel.
Plug. Drinking my little water, just nervous, right? And I had my little Nokia phone. It went off. So it's ringing. It said it was an anonymous call. So I leaned over to my agent. Hey, should I answer this? He said, heck yeah.
Yeah, you better answer
So,
it.
So I answered it, and it was like, hello? I was like, hello? It was like, is this Dexter? I said, yes, sir. And I'm talking my heart, I'm getting butterflies, right? So I'm like, he was like, do you know what this is? I said, no, sir. He was like, this is the Hunt family. We're going to draft you the next pick, boom, boom. And I'm like, whoa.
Dude, that's amazing.
I'm like, this happened. So I got my family with me, like, from all over. But we right in my hometown. I mean, we got this venue going, these camera crews, and it's happening, right? So
that's dope.
Hung up the phone, and everybody just went crazy, man, hugging everybody, did the interviews, and it was an amazing process to know that, you know what, dang, this is happening, right? So in my mind, I'm ready to go to work now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, now that was my mindset. I still got work to do. if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But it was an amazing opportunity after that, man. The DJ turned it up. My
Oh, man, I know
family
you went
danced the
off.
night away, man.
I know
We
you
had a
went
good
off.
time, man.
I know you
yes,
went
sir.
off.
Great
Yeah.
time. Yep. Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be a great feeling because then again, that translates into someone believing in you.
There you go.
And not
Right.
just saying the words, but I mean, they got to put their money where their mouth is
Yeah.
with that belief.
Right. Not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started off in Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
Ended up having, getting to the Pro Bowl while you're still there.
Shout out Big Red, Andy Reid, man. Keep your head up, Big Dog.
Shout out Andy. And then you came here to Tennessee.
Yeah. Shout out
Now,
Titans, man.
doing some deep dive, I saw you on another show talking about how you didn't really
Yeah, it was a
enjoy it when
struggle.
you first got
It was
here.
a struggle for me, yeah. It was a
So
struggle
what
for me.
what was that like? What was the Kansas City team like at the time? Because again,
Yeah.
early picks in each round means probably not a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good career there, but like, what was the team like, and how was it different coming here?
Yeah, man. So even going there, it's more like that family atmosphere. Like from
Bigger
from-
than wins and losses.
Yes, from the janitor to the equipment managers to the players to just everybody knew each other. Everybody were able to do their job without being walking around tight, right? And just the fans around, it just it felt right. It felt like you're at home, right? So coming from that to Tennessee at the time, but shout out Tennessee. I've been here 10 years now, man.
Yeah.
It's home for me, raising my family here. Yeah. So
It was actually surprising because like
Yeah.
I know you from playing here.
yeah.
And then being here in the fitness industry and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But of course, I was refreshing on everything. Like, you played 1 year here? Two seasons here? But like, that might have been your shortest stop on some of your career
was,
in
yeah.
comparison.
It
But
was,
like, to
yeah.
me, you're a Titan.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, 100%, man. So when I got here, it was kind of a little in shambles. I didn't know what was what. It wasn't clicking. It didn't feel right. So I'm like, okay, let me just see how things work, see how things go. So it's just I never really felt comfortable, and I called my agent like, hey man, you got to get me out of here, big dog. And he was like,
Yeah.
man, the way we structured your contract, because here I'm glad they did it now, but they gave me the bulk up front, and then the rest would have been on the back end, whatever. But they were like, they're not gonna let you go, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I was trying to weather the storm. I called up again. I'm like, bro, it's just.
Yeah.
Something's just not right here, man.
Yeah.
It just feels unorganized, this and that, whatever. And he was like, man, you just gotta thug
Stay.
it out, man. And
Yeah.
fast forward, started getting my niche, whatever. And my second year here, I had 200 yards in all like 4 categories: kick return, punt return, wide receiving, and running back, right? And I'm like, okay. When they named me captain that year, and that's when I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But that's when things started to, get on track. And Mark Malarkey came in as an interim and shook some things up. And then, the Titans, how they've been busting butts since then. I mean, this year, it's been a little rough.
tough.
But
Yeah.
I saw the rise of the Titans organization, man. And again, I met a lot of good people. Met you here,
Yeah,
man.
I did,
He
for
was
sure.
he was training me when I
Yeah,
first got here.
man,
I was
like,
still
for real.
playing.
He was still
so
playing.
keeping me going, man. So met a lot of good people. My family loves it. My daughters are thriving here, man. So, I mean, something that if I would have gave up on or would have walked away from it, I would have been in the place
Who
that
knows
I am
what
now,
happened.
man. So
Yeah, because you didn't just come here and then like retire and leave. You still bounce around.
Yeah, I
What,
went-
San
yeah.
Diego?
I went to the
San
Jets,
Diego.
Jets too, right? For a minute?
Yeah,
Canada?
all that, Canada,
Yeah.
Toronto, all that. So, I mean, with that, man, I love the game, and how I
Yeah.
ended up in Canada was, I was like, okay, after the Chargers, I'm like, man, I think it's time to go home now, right? So I started helping out at Ravenwood High School. A lot of people don't really know that. I think it was maybe 2016-ish, maybe. No, that's somewhere around 18, somewhere around there. And I started going out there with the kids and running around with them. I'm like, man, I still got a little bit left. So my agent reached out and did a tryout in Canada and ended up, playing over there. So it's just a luck. Like people were like, oh, how society, oh, he must be broke. He ain't got no money no more. Listen, man, I love this game, right? You know what I mean? And if I can still do it, why not? You know what I'm saying? So that was my mindset of it. You know what I mean?
You got one punt return left in you?
I swear.
I know you do.
Yeah, yes, sir. Man, listen, if they gave me one, guess what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna tell everybody on there.
No fair catch.
I'm not fair catching it.
I ain't
You know what I'm
fair
saying?
catching it. Go
If y'all
with it.
give me this, watch what I do. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So
And I know he mean that because
I mean it. I ain't gonna lie.
I know he for real about it.
I mean it, man.
Yeah.
So you said something in there that I really want to focus on because that's
Okay.
kind of like the whole premise of the show.
Okay.
You decided you need to go on home,
Yeah.
and then you said you're helping at Ravenwood High School.
Yes.
Ravenwood's not in Largo.
That sure ain't.
So how did it happen and work out, and what mindset did you have to kind of like change, another adaptation and like figuring things out in your career again, to make Nashville home when you refer to going home?
Yeah.
What is it about the city? You saw the growth of the team. What
Yeah,
about the city as a whole? Like,
yeah, I just met so many good people here, like genuine, authentic people when I first got here, and those same people to this day, I can call them right now, and you know, if they need me somewhere, I'm there. You know what I mean? Money, no, I'm finna come show up. Just like with you, you know, when I was doing some camps, he'll show up for me, man. I'm sure because that's the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
And then my daughters found the dance world. And then it was it. That's
Okay.
it. I mean, but I love it, man. And I think honestly, the same feeling I had, you know, leaving Largo to go to Ole Miss. Not know I'm a Florida boy, never flown a plane before, but took that opportunity and look what happened. So I'm just gonna, if a door opens, I'm gonna walk in it. If it works, we're gonna make it work. Yeah. So
it's just real crazy to like, because I'm born and raised here. I've never lived anywhere else,
right.
and so to like
So you would.
to know the passion
Yeah.
that a Florida boy has.
Yeah.
When
And I'm gonna tell you, Florida's fast paced now.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
You can tell I talk fast. Okay,
Yeah.
so like just the lifestyle there. Like here is a lifestyle change for which I can slow down and raise my family. You know what I'm saying? And
let's
if
talk
I-
about your family a little bit.
Yeah, man, my family. Me and my wife are gonna hit 10 years of marriage.
Man,
in
congratulations,
May.
dude.
Wow.
Yes,
That's a
in
big
May,
deal,
this May.
man. Yeah.
Together 19 years. I met her 2006, Math 115, Hume Hall at Ole Miss.
So she been through the storm with
She
you.
been through
Woo-wee.
anything bigger than the storm.
Yeah.
She went through it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
and,
sure.
and for her to still, you know, to stay by
Hold
my
you down
side
like
and
that.
ride out with
Man,
me.
that's a beautiful thing,
and still
man.
being able to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Inspiration,
So,
man.
Yeah. So I got
Yeah.
five daughters, ranging from 19 the oldest all the way down to 2. Man, I'm a girl dad, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm happy to take a seat to watch them flourish. You know what I mean? So that's where I get my joy.
Was that
man.
an adjustment though?
No. As far as what?
As
Having
far as,
5 kids?
as
or
far
just
no,
taking
as far
a
as
step back?
as far as sitting back.
Nah,
Like,
'cause-
how was it retiring for you? Were you
Yeah.
happy with your career? Obviously,
Right.
you seem like you're in a good mindset now.
Yeah.
But in the moment when it's done, like, are you satisfied with what you accomplished? Was it hard to watch the game? Like watching the game now, you're going to Super Bowls and enjoying
Right.
it as a fan.
Right.
But like, what watching that, what was that like? First stepping away from the game.
Yeah, so it goes back to I never played the game to say, look at me. I played the game because I loved it. I had a passion for it, and I just, for some reason, I just knew that was what I was meant to. That was my calling, at that moment, right? So with that being said, after I retired, yes, it definitely was an adjustment, right? But to answer your first question, happy with my career, right? I know everything. I gave everything I had to the game, whether it was practice or the game or the sign out. I gave all of me to the game, so I was happy with that always. But adjusting being home, you're so used to getting up at 5 in the morning, going to breakfast, practice, film, all of that, doing that, traveling, doing all that stuff, and now it's done. So it's like, okay, well, I've been Dexter McCluster, this football player, for this long. Like, who is Dexter McCluster as the father, as the man?
Identity. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the first year, I couldn't even watch football. I was depressed.
It's familiar though. It's a familiar story. You know what I mean?
you know
Like,
what I'm
it
saying?
happens.
To where
yeah.
it's like I'm fighting. I'm sunken, right? Till it got to the point where I started drinking a lot. You know what I mean? I dabbled in smoking. Like I just didn't know how to be home. I wanted to be home, but didn't know how. I would watch movies or TV with my daughters, but mentally I'm not there.
You're just not
so,
there.
So even that within me as a man, I'm like, man, I gotta distance myself from this because I'm not who they need me to be right now. So I would sit on my patio from 6 a.m. till whenever I felt like going back inside. But My wife, man, she rolled with me. She would come out there every day on that patio and be like, listen, get up, man. Like, just know who you are as a person, not just that guy, with that helmet on. Remember, and I never lost that voice in my head to where it's like, you know what? I know this ain't what I need to be doing, but I just don't know what to do. And I started just working out, finding a regimen again, getting myself back to some type of normalcy, and just started hashtagging McCluster Fit, just for myself, right? And then, a few months into it, hey, do you train? No, I don't. I just, just for me. And here we are, 5 years later. I'm making a living, being a light for, whoever needs me to be a light, man. Just believing in people the way others believe in me. Going back to, that's where my heart is. Showing people that you got something in you, and we gonna pull that thing out together. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna go deeper in that because I met him around that time though. You feel what I'm saying? So for me to hear it and see it, it hits a little different for me, right? Because not even knowing the backstory of what you was going through, like that was one of the things. Because at the time I was coming off a back surgery. Like when he was coming over the training corner, I just recovered from healing, right? So he would come in the gym. Man, I'm gonna post these on IG just so I can tag my boy on this thing. But and we would just talk like, hey man, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's next? What you think? So he just always has this passion for everything he does. So not even knowing people was hitting him up to train, he just kind of took a hold of it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, you should do this. Yeah. Like, you got to do this. Like, that's your way to give back. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't play as long as you did, but your name alone still being here, it still rings bells, right? And this is the authentic person that you are, the passion. Like, because you can't have high passion, right? You can't fake it.
No.
So anytime he does something, it's real, it's legit, right? So, just being around that time and you coming to the gym and seeing the transition, man, like, I'm proud of you, man, for what you're doing. Yeah, for real. Sir. Because, even out the blue, hey, let's get a workout in. So he'll come with me or I go hook up with him. We get a workout. Any camp he does, like, legit, hey, come pull up. Hey, man, I'm going to pay you this. I don't want no money. Like, he pays me anyway. Just because that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. So to get people like that and to see the maturation of just like the mindset that you are in now, right? And to see you with the kids, the coaching. We didn't even get into that, but he's coaching now. I dove into coaching 4 years ago. So, life after football, man, if you don't have the people that's been through some of the journey or some of the steps, same as you, Blake, right? After football, we talked about this how sometimes the mindset, it can go left. If you don't have good people around you.
And I wasn't even, I ended up not actually making it to the league, and I still struggled with that, like that identity crisis of like who I was as an athlete completely trumped everything that I was almost using as like a cry for help in certain things in my life. And it was like this identity was masking, even though it's like professional football player, like it's like a good thing, but it was covering up a lot of the other things that needed to be improved. And not knowing who I was. Like I've always said, like when your brightest moments are involving arenas full of people, that darkness afterwards is so lonely. And unfortunately not everyone comes out of that.
Nah, man, it's the high from it, right? So my wife now, she was like, you just love it, man. You love the game. I'm like, man, do I? But then I think about it, like, man, I do. But I think just one thing I just tried to make sure that I don't want that to be my full identity, right? And I still get caught up in that. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to kind of break away from that when you've done so many good things with that helmet on, right? But when you take it off, this is being a husband, father now, you know what I mean? Like being a man, us being entrepreneurs in our own right, all three of us. Just what the game teaches you still, right? And then going back to having that resiliency and having to refocus, and it's like, you know what? All right, that's done. I made it through this, by the grace of God, you know what I mean? So now what can we do next? What's the next step? So and I want to get big into that, you know what I mean? Like just to see and help other former NFL guys because that transition is rough, man.
I had no one talk to me about it.
It's rough.
No one even mentioned it. No one even mentioned it.
Because for most of us, nobody else played the sport to that level. Like so.
And sometimes you get to a point where it's like you in it, you like, I got about 3 more years left, but like you said,
it don't happen.
It don't
like
happen.
my cousin. So my cousin, I was fortunate enough to have a cousin out in L.A. My family's in L.A. and he played at USC. Travis Hunter, he got drafted by the Houston Oilers back in the day. So this is how long this was, right? But on 4th round pick, I think wide receiver, speed guy. But he would always kind of be in my ear like, look, cuz, blah blah blah, make sure you do this. So outside of him, I had nobody because my dad didn't play sports. Nobody played sports.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like you just kind of the
Yeah,
black
yeah,
sheep.
no.
Like
Yeah,
you just doing what you
can't be
do.
guided by people that have never come close to accomplishing
Yeah.
what you accomplished.
Yeah.
And it took so much for me just to get to where I got to
Mm-hmm.
that, like, thinking about taking any of those eggs that we're putting all into this basket, taking any of those to start planting away for life after football seemed like it was taken away from accomplishing the mission.
It don't make sense in
Yeah.
our head.
In the moment,
Right,
it's
in the
like
moment,
no distractions. I'll worry about that when I get there.
Yes.
But then, like, I mean, it affected like my relationship, my marriage. Like, I mean,
everything.
yeah,
dude.
everything. Because like I didn't know how to come out of it. It's like I didn't know how to do anything if you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had that family around you to help
And
remind you.
Yes. And even now, the biggest question, they be like, do you want to go back? Do you miss it? Man, to be honest with you, I miss it every now and then, but just the camaraderie of it, just being around the guys, locker
That's
room, all that.
fun. Yeah.
But as far as the game, nah. They be like, they'll see me working out, be like, man, you can still do that. I said, but you don't see me when I get home.
Right.
Man, it's back.
Not the same.
It's not the same, right?
Yeah.
But but everybody always talks about purpose, and I used to talk about it a long time ago, thinking I knew what purpose was, man. But now I know I'm in it. I'm in that purpose. So it's like sometimes I forget that I
Purpose
played
used to be a
football.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, man, I did play, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like I'm having so much fun and getting so much more done outside of the game. And then people see what you did. Now it's too late. Now you should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I appreciate the flowers.
Right.
But now, hey, I'm over here trying to build this guy up or help this person out find who they unlock their inner beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever that may.
So talk
look
about
like.
that transition to like just the Dexter McCluster, the training that McCluster fit. So what you got new? What's going on right now with you, man? Like anything coming down the pike?
Gym's changing a lot. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's changing a lot. Yeah, so
and where you located too, man? Where you at?
So I'm in Brentwood, in Southside Strength, Cool Springs Mall area,
Okay.
over in that area,
Gotcha.
man. Great spot. So it was just a strongman gym. You know, when I first started training, I would be in the parks from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. because my wife would bring me breakfast, lunch, and dinner there because I wanted my people to know that I'm in this with y'all, right? And that was a big thing for me too, just finding that identity again and finding that drive. And I was at my chiropractor one day, and I heard some loud music going on next door, some rock music. I heard some rap come on. I said, "Was it a club next door?" And they were like, "No, it's a gym," which was Southside Strength. It's a gym. And she was like, "I'll introduce you to the owner." So I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm looking for a place to go because I've been in the parks for a year or so now." And started talking with him, and again, you had those big jack guys in there, right? Picking up the big ass bowls and all that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what's going on here, right? But nah, just cool energy. It's good energy in those, and I'm pretty sure yours as well. So I'm waiting on the invite. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Anytime.
All right, for sure.
I'm wanting to really get into some of the youth sports, so we can talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Later about how that works.
So talking to him, and it started. I started bringing a lot of kids in there. Then now, I have too many kids in there, so now we don't have any room. So okay, let's knock this wall down. Boom, did this, and then now I've been there 2 years now, and I mean we've changed the place so much, and now we can. I hold every Saturday 34 kid high school group in that same building. It's like, man, how did we get from not being able to fit 10 in the small turf to 34? You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
wow,
man, like I know just surrounding yourself around people that can just get it done. Nobody's hating on him. Nobody's looking at this person sideways. It's just constant elevation. That's it. You know what I mean?
Man, that's dope.
Elevation.
So I'm at Southside Strength, man. I do youth classes, every week. I'm working Sunday to Sunday. You know what I mean? So, and again, I love it. It's a passion of mine. And one thing I want people to know that, my training, you're a great trainer, right? You're a great trainer, great owner. Everybody has their own greatness to them. And I just say, I'm just speaking for myself, it just comes from a different place. That's what I tell you. It just comes from the heart. I'm not looking for a paycheck. I'm not looking for, it's just, you know what? You don't believe? Watch this. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm getting passionate. I'm ready.
That's what I'm saying.
But you high knee, my bad.
And then, no, it's good though. But then coaching too though, right? So what tell them about the coaching background.
Yeah, and like people just ask me, man, when you done playing, are you gonna coach anything? I say I'm getting far away from the game as I can.
Right.
But
And look
the
at you
game
now.
has a funny way of pulling you back. And at first when I got the offer to coach at Indy, I was nervous. It was almost like that draft process again. Like, okay, can I do this? Yeah, I know I can do this. Is it different? Yeah, it's different. But walk in it. Just do that courage, that relentlessness that you learned. Just go do it. And here we are going into my 4th year. I did 3 years coaching at Independence High School, and just holding those guys accountable every single day. Because now we're in the social media world to where, and the NILs like we've been talking about, to where we got to make sure we do the little things right. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Like teach these guys life lesson, because as we know, everybody's not going to make it to the NFL or let alone sometimes even college, right? So that might be their last stop. So what can you instill in them now, to help them in life? And hey, call me Coach McCluster. On the line, I don't got my whistle.
I already know. You gotta watch it, man. It get real.
I'm just spread out everywhere, man. Coaching high school, McCluster Fit, speaking at conferences, women's forums at Ole Miss. Coaching at my daughter on staff at DC Dance Factory.
I see you post a lot about that, man.
Yeah,
man.
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? The parent battles now, huh? I'm telling you. I might pass it to you, but make sure you pass it back. Yeah, so man, I'm just spread me thin, because I know this. Like I've always prided myself on, in this third down, if the team needs that spark, and I'm able to provide that spark in so many different lanes. Just trying to be limitless, because it's no limits, man. I ain't talking about Master P.
No.
Hey.
Yeah, you feel me? But yeah, just be limitless. Just don't put yourself in the box, because the world will put yourself in the box.
Yeah, I'm big on that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Man. Dex, you train dancers too? What you do with them? Dance with them? Yeah, every now and then I include it in there, but I learn new things, to be able to spread new things and just touch not just football players, not just the athletic side of things, but dancers or just anybody that needs it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's a need for people like that.
Yeah, we don't have enough of it nowadays.
I'm telling you,
there's a lot of us out there now.
Yeah,
a lot of us, but not enough.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So that leads me to be, a devil's advocate kind of position to ask you, when you think about growth, growing this way is one thing, growing this way is one thing.
Yes.
You're talking about spreading yourself thin, and eventually if you're doing a little bit over here, a little bit over there, a little bit over there, that can kind of limit how high you grow when you're going out wide.
Right.
What's next for you? What's on the horizons? Is anything coming down the pipeline? Are you trying to change things to funnel things to get more growth, or you just on a maintain level, or
nah.
What's next for you?
I think what's next for me, it's tough. It's just, I guess, just continuing just to find a way to make a way. You know what I'm saying? So
like that.
it's hard to really say what's next, because I don't know what's next. But guess what? When that door open, we'll figure it out once we get there. But I just know that I'm on the right track.
It seems to be a theme with you, though.
Yeah.
Like even going from, what you did in college and then going from college to pro, like the opportunities you get weren't what you thought you were going to get.
But you hit that on the head, because I talk about it all the time. I may have not gotten all the opportunities as everybody else, but the ones the opportunity I did have, I made sure it was undeniable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
some of the best business advice that I got that really stuck with me, and it's really come up in a lot of different conversations, is a lot of people get like that paralysis of analysis, where like you're so afraid of like what is the next decision to make, and I got to make that decision the right decision because I got people dependent on me, the girl, all that, and but then like if you think about it too hard about the pressure of making the right decision, then it could prolong you even making the decision at all.
Yeah, it causes that doubt.
And so someone told me that like instead of putting that pressure on to make the right decision, not knowing if it's right or not, just make a decision and then work your ass off to make that decision the right one.
Right. And if it, like you said, it may not work.
Yeah.
But the next time you face with that same little situation, whatever, you know how to navigate through it, and it might work that second time.
Yeah.
So it's all about just timing, man. Just don't be afraid to step in it because, like you said, if you don't step in it now, win. You know what I'm saying? So
It's a great point. On that note, not being afraid. One thing I skipped over that I always like to ask people that actually like play in the league like that. Pretty popular cliche question, but like, what was your like welcome to the league moment? Was it somebody hit you like, something like that?
Yeah,
what was
happened.
it? Okay, all right. What was that moment for you?
And I know, and I talk about it a lot,
Yeah.
but that story is gonna be. When I'm old and gray, sitting on when they calling me Papa, I'm gonna tell that same story of that day. Your Papa experienced Ed Reed. But
know who it was gonna be.
And I know I talk about Ed Reed a lot in this story, but
Yeah.
I had Ray Lewis out there. I fumbled that game as well. So that was my like all year. Scored my first, ran a 94-yard punt return back, my first NFL game. Things are going good, boom, boom. And I'm like, boom. But we get to that playoff game in Kansas City versus the Baltimore Ravens. You have those guys over there, man. That's when I realized that playoff ball and just in season ball are a total different animal, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so my job was a chip on the edge, and again, not being the biggest guy, I just trying to get in the way, slow him down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And he spent me off. Matt threw me the ball, Castle, and I knew I was gonna get hit, right?
Yeah.
But again, the type of player I am, I'm finna catch this ball, right? So when you hit me, I can always say, you know what, I got it. You know what I mean? It was still not the first down, but I got it, right? So he hit me so hard, get to the sideline, and as a player, you already know the camera gonna be on you, especially when you get lit up, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to the coach, man, and just saying, like, man, like not moving my mouth. I just don't want the camera to read my lips, Cause they got famous lip readers now.
Yeah.
Now, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm like biting my teeth, hey, coach, I can't feel my chest. And he was like, yeah. But he not paying no attention. He hear me, but he like, man, I got to make sure my job's secure. All right.
Yeah.
And he's like, you still want to play, son? I said, yeah, just get me that halftime. So the halftime going, I get shot up, whatever, and I was able to finish the game. But that was my welcome to the NFL hit. And after the game, he came to me, right?
Ed Reed?
Yeah, he said, hey, either little fella or young fella, one or two. But hey, young fella, little fella. I said, yes, sir. He was like, I'm a rookie, so I'm like, this is Ed Reed. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he was like, hey, they got to get you the ball more. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Not if you hit like that.
Right. And he was like, but he was just told me, he was like, man, you're going to be a heck of a player and this and that. And I went straight to the locker room and called my dad and was like, Dad, man, Ed Reed just said I'm going to be a heck of a player. And damn, you keep coming back to somebody else seeing something. So that's all. That's why, man, my training and your training, what you do is like to see a smile on others' face, to see like, you know what, you can do what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
which is bad. That's how it's supposed to be, though, man. That's the. Once again, man, you exude so much passion and just the confidence when you get people in front of you. So that's what it's about, man. So hats out to you, man.
I think that says more for someone to like light you up like that and then to still give you the flowers.
Yeah,
like that almost means a little bit more than.
I got a picture in my man cave. Now I'm gonna shoot it over to y'all later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like this,
balled up,
the ball, and I got I don't know what positions they in, but it was Ed Reed on me. Ray Lewis on me, and I think was it Suggs at the time on the defense
D-line,
yeah, boom, and I'm just like this. So my daughter's like, Dad, why did you keep this picture?
Like,
I'm like,
Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer.
But I'm like, I said, man, it's a lot of legends in there. Yeah. And I was like, and your daddy was amongst them. You know what I mean? Probably wasn't as high as they were, right? But
a bunch of legends in there, and then your dad's there too.
Daddy, so I mean, even if that's the only picture I got, I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
It took 3 Hall of Famers to get me down.
That's baby. I'm gonna sell it when I get older. Your Papa was a bad man. You know what I mean?
Took 3 Hall of Famers to
talk about Shaft. Yeah, man. But nah, that was a game. Like I said, Ray Lewis hit me, so I went one way, the ball went the other. So it was like
that's all the same game.
I was. So that was my welcome. I'm a rookie, so that was my welcome because I never experienced that until then.
Yeah,
I was crushed. I went to the locker room thinking, Dex, you suck.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? So it was tough. That was my.
It's happened to a lot of people, man.
Yeah. I mean, Ray and Ed did that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
I wasn't scared though.
No, doesn't sound like
we can always say that. That's a fact.
If I read that right, last thing we want to kind of chat about a little bit, you got another induction coming up in August?
Yeah, man. So me being from Florida, it's a big time opportunity for me. I was just nominated last year, but it's going to happen this year to be placed in the State of Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. And so,
Oh man, congratulations
yeah, man,
on
so
that,
that's
man.
pretty cool.
They keep knocking these things out.
Yeah,
man.
so in August, man, they're gonna do that in Jackson, Mississippi, to where my actual face is gonna be. I didn't get my gold jacket, man, but again, everybody, this is my gold jacket moment.
Yeah.
It
You
is,
know what
though.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's like, man, wow, Dex, like the little young 17-year-old kid. I had a child then. You know what I mean? That didn't know anything about anything.
You already had your kid going into college?
Yes, yes, sir. My oldest now, and now she's in college, right?
Wow.
But yeah, so going into that, it's like, man, it was all worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It was all worth it. Somebody saw you, and what you did was enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Florida boy, and so they gave me a little pass. I think I'm a Mississippian now.
I think so, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say so.
They treat you well down
No,
there.
they
dude.
do, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Every time I
it's
look
nothing
up,
but
it's
love.
like, dude,
Yeah.
they love them down
It's
there.
nothing but love.
Yeah.
But it's because the times after the game you rushed for dang near 400 yards, but you stayed an hour after the game to sign autographs. You know what I mean? So the little things like that, you taking your time to show people that, hey, I got time for you. I see you. And I think it just came full
come back
circle.
around,
You know?
yeah.
And when there's no facade.
That's what I'm saying. When it's real, it's real.
Yeah.
People
So
respect that
it's
real.
cool.
They
Like
can see
taking
it.
an hour of your day to come on a local podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah.
Give it
Appreciate
time.
you
I
coming,
appreciate
dude.
that.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I'm glad that trickling through, you're still getting your flowers.
Yeah,
Your name will ring loud for forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
because you really did it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Whether regardless of how long that happened, what you did when you were doing it was very impactful.
Yes, sir.
Now I appreciate you stopping by,
That means
man.
a
This
lot.
is this is
Yes,
this is
sir.
a
Yeah,
good
it's cool,
one, man.
Got to have my
Appreciate
dog
it.
on here,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah, when I knew you was coming, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, man. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're anything like me, man, I know you loved it. I loved it. Make
Yes.
sure you hit the link, subscribe, and stay tuned to the next episode, man.
Yep. And for the love of Nashville, tune back in.